Hello everyone and welcome back to Timberborn 1.0, the realm of Dittoland. When we last left off, we entered this bad tide here, 17 days, 16 and a half left. It's been a bit since I actually played this, so I'm not quite sure what problems we had to take care of. I'm sure we'll be fine. Looks like we've got bad water entering here. We've already got the floodgates up on both sides. Not on both sides yet. I'm just going to go ahead and put that up. Get that taken care of. Our dam is fine. Plenty of water in there. So our trees are going to keep growing. That'll be good. And I should... We got 1.3 thousand water. 2.3 thousand grilled potatoes. I'm trying to decide if we should let the pumps keep going. I don't think so. I think we go ahead and pause all these just to give the potatoes an extra chance to be grown and harvested. I'm actually going to change this to prioritizing harvesting. I know this one's not active. Okay. You harvest. Well, it's not like they're going to die. They're just going to dry out. How long is their resistance? Oh, only a day. So we do want to keep them wet. Let's go ahead and unpause here and see how we do. Looks like our beavers are underway constructing our giant dam. They're just gonna keep working their way along here, and then we'll get this built, and yeah, that's just looking good. That's just their long-term project, and then we'll have a nice reservoir after that. Do still need to get dynamite going so we can get this blown up so we can divert bad water. We'll get there. Now, of course, we don't have power going during bad tide and / drought. We do have our flywheels here, which just depleted. That was fast. We need a lot bigger flywheels, that is for sure. Now, one thing I'm trying to remember is where our bad water is normally. This is a bad water source. That one's actually pretty close here. We also have this right here. This is a bad water source. So we have this big lake of bad water that we can utilize as well, and we're actually pretty close to this. Now we can just pop another zipline station over here and... You get that like that. Of course, we need a path over there. There we go. That gets that buildable right away. We do have a little over 2,000 science. Let's go ahead and unlock the bad water pump because that's what we're doing out here. Get ourselves a tank for storage. Yeah, a couple. Why not? Not that we have the resources to build those, actually. Let's do small tanks instead. I'm realizing that we don't have any storage out here for these blocks, or for the scrap metal. Obviously, they're emptying it pretty quick, but they should still have some storage here to put it in. Let's get rid of all this wood. Grab a lumberjack. No, wait. Let's grab... this is going to be a temporary one. We don't need one of our automated ones. Doot, doot. Get rid of all these trees. Then we can put a storage here for that scrap metal. There's still quite a bit there, so it'll be worth it. I mean, I could just do this. That actually makes more sense. Don't need to wait for all these trees to be out of there. Now, our windmills are going. Are they really charging these, though? No, not at all. We're only getting 544 out of the 1,000 horsepower that we need. We need a lot more windmills. That's what we need. Can I unlock the big one? 1.4 thousand? Yes, I can. Can I build it? No, I cannot. It needs paper, which I am definitely not prepared for that yet. More small wind turbines it is, then. Where do we want to build them? Maybe like over here, just giant windmill farm. We need to be able to get in there to build everything, so we want to make sure there's a path for the beavers to get in. There we go, that connects all of that. Of course, we need to get it connected to all of this. There we go. We're just a couple days into this drought, and we're still over 1,000 in water. I think we're doing pretty good there. We might be cutting it close, though. I don't quite remember how our last bad tide or drought went. It's been that long since I've played. There's no reason for me to have these up, is there? That'll let it push out that way at least a little bit as well, so it's not all come down here. How's there bad water in there? That was weird. This is going to store bad water. Yep, it's a good thing I've had them prioritizing gathering. Because these are going to dry out pretty darn quick. Thankfully, we at least have a small surplus of potatoes, because we're full up on grilled potatoes. Got a lot of storage there. Then I think that's still for carrots. Yeah. Alright, we are down to 9.5 days left of our drought, 830 water. And that lumberjack is finished, so we can go ahead and remove it. Overall, our colony is doing pretty good. We've got lots of food. We're halfway through our bad tide, and we are still basically full up on food, so we're not going to run out by the time this is over. Our water is the biggest concern right now. We're down to 700 with still half the drought left. We started at, what was it, about 1300? So we might run out of water and have another population crisis. I hope we don't, but it is a possibility. I could try and get some of this water into our reserves. I've been wanting to make sure this lasted, so we'd have trees and some carrots, some stuff going during this time. Since we're good on food, I'm not worried about having this little lake full. We don't need to prioritize this little patch of food anymore. So that's fine as is. But we definitely want wood and whatnot during droughts and bad tides, so having this water here is pretty essential. Once we have the reservoir, then we can be letting in a steady stream, which will be very good. It's nice to see that so much of this tree field survives during the bad tide. I thought it was going to be a bit smaller of a section that survived, but right now that's a pretty good sizable section. Six days left, 460 water. This water is about to go. And we are officially dry. With that, there's not a lot for our beavers to do right now. What wood we can get, we're putting down into our windmill farm. And it's not a lot of wood that we have right now. Down to 4 days, 270 water left. 3 days, 180 water. 2 days, 80 water left. We will run out of water by the end of the drought. Beavers will be dehydrated. They can go a little ways without water, though. A little time without water. So we might not have deaths. I think we'll be cutting it close, though. And here we go, down to 0 water right as we enter the last day of the drought. Let's take a look down here. Akalai is thirsty, of course, but just barely. Beaver will die soon. I don't think it's that soon. Trying to think of the fastest way for this to refill with fresh water. Should I actually close this one? No, it doesn't really matter because none of this is entering down here. It's all coming from here, no matter what. Here we are. There's that fresh water we like to see. As soon as enough of this filters out, we'll get these open again. They're fine. I want to let as little bad water into here as I can. I think that's about going to be where it is. And then, boop. Whoosh. Oh, let's not forget to start up the pumps again. Oh, the big one's already going. Perfect. I actually kind of forgot we had that. We'll get some initial flooding, as is the norm. And all of these are set for highest priority. Perfect. So we're going to be pumping as quickly as possible then. Let's go and bump them up to 24 hours working. Just for a couple days. Make sure we get as much water as possible. Because we don't know how quickly we're going to be hit with the next drought or bad tide. We can actually build the observatory. It's 1,000 science, which we easily have. It's slow, but we do have planks. We do slowly have gears as well. And we've definitely got the pine resin. Where would we want to put it? Not like we can't have multiple or anything. Maybe down here? Yeah, let's do a couple right there. Those are going to take quite a while to get. Now, I am realizing, just a thought, I have priorities set for the dam to be the lowest thing. I should have that as the highest thing. That would be... That's my big thing, is water, so why am I not prioritizing the water? This is where the water is going to be. There is a way to fix this as well. I should just put floodgates down here instead. There we go, 3 days to the drought. We only have 370 water. Oh my goodness, we are not prepared. Nowhere near enough water. Yeah, screw going to sleep again. They're all pumping away, but we are nowhere near what we need. So we got 3 days to fill our reserves. We're halfway through our prep period for this drought. It's likely going to be a pretty darn long one. And we are at 1,200 water. And what did we start at last time? 1.3 or something like that? Well, we might be able to get enough water here. And these two we can keep on full time during the drought. We'll want to make sure to... I'll go and preemptively put those up. These guys are already up. These will... we will dam up, so that's fine there. We'll just put those up. So now, this entire area is contained, that one level. And here as we enter the drought, we start with 1.7. And, oh, 12 days? That is shorter than the last thing we just had. We are totally going to be fine here. I'm going to go ahead and pause them, though, so that way we can keep as much water as possible for our plants. We'll keep the ones back here going, because they're on a separate level. That's fine. I'll actually go ahead and put these ones up, though. So that way, we're not pumping, since it's all the same level, same water. This makes it so we're pumping just from our little reservoir area, and not from this area, which we want to keep for the trees. Since we're not needing to prep anymore, give them back their time so they can sleep at night to get some recreation in. I am seeing I have injured beavers. Do I have medical beds? Yes, I do. Our little wind farm continues to come along nicely. Of course, they're not working on it right now because they're focused on the dam. Same with the observatories. Of course, they've got the pine resin that they all need. This one has more than half the gears. I'm surprised. I figured the gears would have gone to... Or actually, they don't need them for the wind turbines. Never mind. This zipline isn't connected to anything. We should fix that. Where should we put its connection? I need a pylon here, that's what I need. Not a priority, of course. But I do want it done before all of this. And we've dropped down to our last layer of water here, but that's a whole block. And that's going to last us more than that 5 days, so we are more than set here. We are just about to run out of water down in this little reservoir here, this little remainder. I'm just hoping we pop these a couple of these trees at least. 99%, 97%. A little surplus would be nice. Well, not a surplus. We're using it as we make it. Alright, there's a few. Hopefully a couple more. Nap. We lost it. Oh, well... We might get a couple more still from this little area. Nope. Now they're dry. I got a couple birches down there at least. That's something. I'm curious. I put this other floodgate here so that way they can be synced and everything. Can the beavers actually reach that to build it? Well, of course they can. It's a diagonal. Of course they can reach it. But even if they couldn't, just having the blueprint there still syncs these two, because when they're cornered, they don't sync up. Yeah, but with just the unbuilt piece there, they do. That's pretty cool. And is the rest of that water finally gone? I'm surprised it lasted only just the 5 days. I guess that's long enough for a whole block. We've got half a day left of the drought. We are more than fine. Let's go ahead and unpause. Don't I have these automated? Yeah, I do have them automated. What am I doing? Same with you. Automate on the depth sensor. Entirely possible we'll get more than a block of water reserved in here. That would be nice. Let that water in as well. Ah, there it is. I knew another was about to pop. I noticed that the water was flowing out that way, which we don't want it to do. We want to make sure that we have enough water that it overflows this way. And it'll flood as normal. That's fine. Now let's look at automation. Contamination sensor, we can do one of those, because this will ultimately be what controls all the gates around here. Until we get this blown up, at least. We'll have a contamination sensor up here for that. I'm going to do that just to remind us. But for now, we're going to put one here. Oh, already 3 days until our drought. We had a pretty steady 1.7 thousand water during that whole 12-day drought, so I'm confident we're going to be fine during this next one, however long it is. Look at all that water coming in. Total capacity is 3,420. I'm pretty sure we're going to get that capacity, and we're just going to keep the beavers pumping the whole time. Make sure we don't enter the drought with less than full capacity. I love this little bridge. It's going to look so nice there. These guys are bored. Let's go ahead and pause. No reason to have them sitting there when there's nothing to do. Imagine if we could have this built during a drought. That would be pretty cool. That's way later, though. Something we need to plan for. Underground ruins. We got one there. And there's our drought started. Let me just really quick. We want to make sure we don't lose any water here. So we're just going to go ahead and pop that up. This is already up. Everything's being built. We can leave that as is. Fill these up. So that way this stays self-contained. And we can keep using this for additional water as our backup. And it is a 14-day drought. We'll be fine. Totally fine. I actually have zero worries about this. I'm considering increasing the population. I wanted to get the reservoir done first. But I think we're safe here to start increasing the population. We definitely need more workers. Ah, this is what I love about bridges. They can build underneath them and over one tile, so they can build all of this from just this bridge. I'm not seeing them do it, though. Maybe they can't do it from a bridge. Does it have to be from a platform? That would be weird. No, they're doing it from the middle. Yeah, they can totally do it. They just wanted to get those done first. I think because they were built first, maybe? I don't know. And these are just going to be sitting at a nice, steady 285. That'll let this whole thing fill up pretty darn deep, and just have a waterfall right over the edge. Once it gets too contaminated with bad water, we'll open these floodgates and let it drain out. Speaking of, we need to... no reason to really put that back to 1x speed. I want to figure this out. I don't want bad water getting in here again. So let's do... That's good. And then, what are we looking at? It's too high all around. I was talking about having this be a reservoir as well. I think I'm going to continue with that idea. So I need to get a floodgates over here, around the whole thing, basically. How are we looking over here? Oh, just about done. Awesome. Just a few more planks is all they need. And we're actually starting to have a surplus of logs again, which is really nice, now that the giant dam is done. And they can start using them for all of this. Is this all done yet? No, it is not. We're waiting on a couple more... Just one wind turbine. Two wind turbines. And they're almost all connected. Just waiting on this final piece. Get her done. There it is. Build, build, build. And we are cooking. Once there's some wind, at least. We do... Oh, look at that. How much is that providing? 3,600. Nice. Of course, we need to get more flywheels on those. Do something like that. Just a big old bank of flywheels. I could have actually used these instead of the power shafts. That would have maybe looked... That could have looked cooler, maybe. I don't know. Something for the future. Alright, you know, I've got bad water. I've got power figured out. I need to get explosives done. Landscaping, dynamite. Explosives factory first, I believe? Yeah, that's just straight bad water. Where do we want to put it? I'm thinking back here. Maybe start doing something like that. obviously we need to build ourselves a little way over. And then we can have the storage here for that. And a medium tank for bad water. It'll request it. These are going to be set to explosives. And then get a warehouse for set explosives. Not the most visually appealing, but it works. And that's the way I like it. I want to make sure I have my sensors right here. So, if we're measuring over 10, I don't want to be too sensitive. Then these go up. Contamination sensor. When it's off, it's going to be at 285. When it's on, goes to 3. Yes. Yeah, I think that's right. Because that way, when it's full of fresh water, we're at 285 to let stuff down. And then if it gets too contaminated for what I want, they'll shut up. And these we will automate. Contamination sensor. When it's off, we want them all the way up. When it's on, we go ahead and start dumping. I need to make like a giant wall here to support that. Because if I try dumping everything all at once, that's just gonna flood into here. Which we do not want. We want it controlled. I suppose the sluices, the throttling valve. Yeah, maybe we use those instead. Put some throttling valves down on the bottom. Yeah, let's do that. Doink, doink, doink. And just for looks, do it like that. These automate. Contamination sensor 2. When it's off, we don't want this flowing at all. When it's on, I'm not sure what we want it to be at. I suppose just 1. And they should both do that. Yes. That way, so once this trips, this activates and in a controlled manner gets rid of it. And we can expand this later as needed. Make that wider, that is. I think that's pretty good though. This, I suppose I didn't really need to be floodgates at all, but it looks nice. Here we go. Drought ended. We still have 2.7 thousand water. Definitely more than good. And so yeah, we're at 285 right now. Beavers are going to be stuck without water for a little while longer, because this is going to be our first fill. We'll see if they can get these last levees done before water gets all the way up. Yeah, they're going to get that. And that's doing us the added benefit of extending the green. So we have some more trees here that are gonna start growing. And we're coming up to the top of our floodgate here, so that's going to spill over any moment. Oh, we can go ahead and lower these floodgates. Actually, we can get rid of these altogether. I don't think we need those anymore. There it goes. Just in time for bad tide. I doubt we have any explosives. No, of course not. It'll be an interesting first exercise. Just to test this for a moment. What does one look like? That suddenly goes. We need to destroy these blocks. Ooh, big flood. Whoops. They don't mind. Oh, hey. Our observatories are ready. Okay, and we do have our flywheels working as they should. Obviously, we are quickly depleting them. But having a bunch of these little tiny ones is kind of fun. Our next ones up do hold a lot more. We really should build those. Medium flywheels. Actually, yeah, I could do that. Looks like they connect on the top there, I think. That center wheel. Once these are done building, I can do it here. I think I just need to build a vertical power shaft to reach that. Here is our bad tide. Let's watch and see how this works. 16 days this time, not as bad as last time. Slowly, we're going to start seeing our measurement go up. There we are. Pretty quick, it's going to start shooting up. Those shut up to all the way on. These open. We start draining out this way. And of course we haven't... Oh, actually, we need to break this. We do not want beavers out here right now until we know how it's gonna be affected. We also want to make sure that this amount of water isn't too much. Like 1.5. We do not want to start pouring over. Oh dang, looks like some of the bad water over here splashed in. That's a surprise. So I think this works. Yeah? I don't think I'm missing anything. Doesn't look like... Yeah, we're not rising. Oh shoot. We got beavers that went in the bad water. That means we gotta get some beds for them. Well-being. What is that? Is that the herbalist? We gotta do all that, don't we? As the herbalist, we need paper, we need the flowers, and berries. We'll want to find a good place, maybe over here, where we can do all that. Why are these beavers still going in there? I broke the path. Maybe I use a path instead. Or not a path, a gate. I don't want them in there. With luck. Guys, come on, stop it. Should have just done that from the start. Oh, we lost a beaver back here. Sorry, mate. So, we need sunflowers. We need an efficient farmhouse to do that. So let's grab that first. Efficient farmhouse. Pop it there. Do a little 6x6 plot. What else we need? We needed blueberries, it said. Which are a forester job. Okay, and how do we make paper? Paper is just... Oh, that's just logs straight into paper. That's easy. Man, that's a lot of bad water that got in there. I'm surprised. Where do we want to put them? Maybe up here? That's a pretty super place for that zipline, isn't it? Because they can already get there, and that's, you know, literally right there. It's obvious that I need to redo my industry. Maybe I just... I like what I did here. I'm not getting rid of that. Yeah, maybe I just redo all this down here. Get rid of a lot of this potato land, because I don't need it. We could do something that looks nice. Sooner I can get this powered up, sooner I get more planks. We just need those gears very slowly. We're getting them. They are using the planks to build these instead of taking them to our gears. We're just gonna prioritize our gears to make sure that planks come here first, hopefully. I can be cheeky here as well, actually. Get rid of this smelter. Got another gear workshop here as well. Let's find somewhere to build some new houses. Maybe, I'm thinking maybe up here. Pretty simple, lots of open space. 18, 27. That is 27 more beavers that we can get in here. I think that'll be fine. We're easily supporting our population right now. 27 more is a lot more beavers. We'll see how we do with that increase. Oh, is that a holdup right now? I need to get some storage out here for them. I can do that. I'm guessing we don't have any haulers right now. Yep. That would explain why there's not much moving around. Again, that's because of our lack of population, which... Oh, good, they got the houses built. We should start seeing some more population. And hopefully we won't crash the economy. We got just half a day left of this bad tide. We're gonna see how fast this clears out, and we can get our fresh water back in. Since this is all automated, hopefully it'll work pretty well. It's entirely possible where we'll have an issue. We might need to use some operators or other automation things to use multiple sensors to check. It's entirely possible that if this doesn't clear out, if all this fresh water is just coming out this way and doesn't reach over here, doesn't fill up over here, then we won't ever get this open again. Hopefully that won't happen though. Hopefully it works exactly as intended. I think... Yeah, that's not going to work because we're already into day 2 and we haven't started sending any water down. We're going to have to do something else for sure. I'm fine sending this bit of bad water down. Maybe a 3-point system. If sensors 1 and 2 are clear, go ahead and open this or something. We are just refilling that reservoir. I'm really hoping we get more than 3 days this time. And that should be overflowing. There it goes. Of course. Well, we'll be able to get the water up. We already know that. We're safe there. Oh, look at that. These are almost done, so we'll get some paper here soon. Bit of a flood, that's always fine. Takes care of itself pretty quick. It said drought approaching, right? Yeah, drought. We should be perfect. Yeah, we will be absolutely fine. We can just have this reservoir sitting pretty. If we need some water down here. We can just kind of let it splash a bit. We can automate that later as well. I think that's gonna take care of it for this episode, though. Not a lot done in this episode. We have our windmill farm up now, with some flywheels still being built alongside of it. So lots of power. Not as much as we want, but a good start. We finished our reservoir. We finished the dam, so our reservoir here is finally filling with fresh water. We'll have lots of that for the upcoming drought. What else did we do? We got started with sunflowers, and we'll need to put this up for our blueberries. With all three of those things built, we will have the ingredients, along with the paper, of course, we will have the ingredients needed to do... what was it called again? The herbalist? Yeah, the herbalist. And that way we can cure our contaminated beavers. Looks like that small flood did have enough bad water in it to contaminate some beavers, so it's definitely needed. With all that said, though, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day. If you got some comments about how I should be playing, some tips and suggestions, leave them down below. Leave a like, subscribe, all those YouTube things, and so long and farewell.